In this video of The Born Gamer we will be going to rank the Assassin's Creed games based on their popularity, reviews and gameplays. So let's get started. Ranked at 11th is the Assassin's Creed Unity 2014. It turns out that the French Revolution was full of bugs. It may have looked good when it worked, but a weak storyline, graphical glitches and shonky gameplay left Unity's head on the chopping block. The final blood splatter on the executioner's robes, however, was the lack of gender options, compounded by Ubisoft's now infamous a lot of extra production work comments to explain the lack of playable female characters. Ranked at 10th is the Assassin's Creed 2007. There are a few adjectives that spring to mind when you think of the first Assassin's Creed: limited, repetitive, boring, but the most important one is promising. Frustratingly linear in parts but so full of potential. You're grateful it exists, even if you're not going to be replaying it anytime soon. Mind you, it must have done something right, because 8 years and a ton of sequels and spin-offs later, it's still a regular fixture in the autumn release calendar, and a real money spinner for Ubisoft. Ranked at 9th is the Assassin's Creed Revelations 2011. Revelations, the final outing of both Ezio and Altair, which was a good thing. Their storylines were getting a little stale by this point, and Constantinople failed to grab gamers as much as, say, Venice or Jerusalem. In an attempt to spice things up, Ubisoft added an utterly irrelevant tower defense minigame and the ability to make bombs a tip of the cowl to the hook blade. Mind, one of the best mechanics in the series, seen here, and only here, in Revelations. Ranked at 8th is the Assassin's Creed 3 2012. For 3, Desmond, remember him? Jumped into the memories of his half-English, half-Native American ancestor Connor Kenway as he squared off against his Templar father during the American Revolution, opening up the scope of an Assassin's Creed game. The 2012 edition gave players free roam of the eastern United States, trees and sea and all, darting between New York, Boston, the wilderness and the eastern seaboard. This was the beginning of Creed's nautical adventures, and yet all its grand ideas failed to gel, and worse, it took several hours, count 'em, hours, to actually get assassinating. Like the first Assassin's Creed before it, this felt like the dry run for something better. Ranked at 7th is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate 2015. Assassin's Creed Syndicate may be set in the smog-filled streets of Victorian London, but it's a breath of fresh air after the disaster that was Unity, even if the game engine is starting to creak and groan like a rusty locomotive. The brother and sister duo of Jacob and Evie Fry are the best leads since Ezio, so it wasn't that tricky then, guys. And the massive Victorian London setting is stuffed so full of landmarks that we think we'll leave the brand new horse-drawn carriages and walk instead. Sorry Ubi, but thanks anyway. Ranked at 6th is the Assassin's Creed Rogue 2013. The oft-forgotten red-haired stepchild of the Creed franchise, Rogue is a bit of a gem, with its air rifles, grenade launchers, puckler guns and oil slicks. It also offered the welcome twist of playing a Templar trying to prevent assassinations, and while it was all essentially an add-on to the better Black Flag was good enough that even a flawed pseudo-expansion pack like this one was still well worth your time. Ranked at 5th is the Assassin's Creed for Black Flag 2013. There was so much to do in Black Flag, it felt almost impossible to complete. There was Havana, Kingston, and Nassau, with Spanish, British, and pirate foes, not forgetting explorable Mayan ruins, sugar plantations and shipwrecks, as well as sea forts, jungles and atolls aplenty. The recruit system from Brotherhood made a welcome return, complementing the now perfected naval combat. This is also one of the most light-hearted games in the series, though some complained that it was more of a pirate game than an assassin game. Which, to be fair, it was. Ranked at 4th is the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood 2010. With Assassin's Creed 2 such a success, there was every chance its sequel, and direct narrative follow-up, would fumble the ball. Brotherhood resolutely failed to fail, taking the much-loved Ezio to Rome and giving him the ability to enlist a group of followers and raise hell. Slick, smart and bags of fun, Brotherhood also nailed a multiplayer mode, and suddenly everyone you knew was jumping in and out of a bale of hay. Ranked at 3rd is the Assassin's Creed 2 2009. Easily the most critically acclaimed title in the franchise's history, 2 is still seen by many as the perfect entry in the franchise, improving upon the original's promise more than any critic could have conceived. Beautiful, enjoyable and intelligent, the game was blessed with an immensely likable lead with Ezio and a storyline that boggled the mind in the best possible way. Plus, the magnificent Leonardo da Vinci and his flying machines brought a welcome sense of whimsy and dynamism to the whole running, jumping, stabbing gig. Ranked at 2nd is the Assassin's Creed Origins. Origins map encompasses Lower Egypt and Eastern Libya, which can be explored seamlessly without encountering loading screens, and has been described to be the size of Black Flag's Caribbean, but on the ground. Players are able to visit major cities such as Giza, Memphis, Cyrene and Alexandria, as well as various smaller villages and settlements in Fayum and the Nile Delta. Unlike previous Assassin's Creed games, Origins has no mini-map, instead employing an Elder Scrolls-esque compass bar that points the player in the direction of quests and objects of interest. Sinu, Bayek's Eagle Companion, functions as the game's eagle vision, being used to detect and mark enemies. The aerial perspective she brings also allows players to locate treasure chests, crafting resources and hidden passages. As well as this, Sinu can be upgraded to distract or attack enemies. Using Sinu does not defog parts of the map. This requires the player themselves to step into the fogged area of the map too. Ranked at 1st is the Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2018. Odyssey uses a lot of the gameplay and interface mechanics of Origins, including the radial compass and the return of a bird that can survey the landscape, spot treasure, and highlight and harass enemies. The game features RPG elements, including dialogue options, branching quests, multiple possible endings, romance options, and the ability to select between a male or female protagonist. Reportedly, the game is a full RPG and will push the franchise into this genre. Both Alexius and Cassandra follow the same story. Romance options remain the same regardless of the character chosen. Gear can be selected and is classified by rarity. Each piece of gear can be enhanced with engravings. Players also have access to a skill tree and can follow a branch to better suit their playstyle. Compared to Origins, the skill tree is more clear-cut in Odyssey, and players can unlock high-tier versions of pre-existing skills. In combat, the hitbox system for enemies is used again. Thanks for watching The Born Gamer, and don't forget to let us know which was your favorite Assassin's Creed game.